Our next speaker is a qualified financial advisor with over 15 years experience in the industry and stands as a beacon of financial literacy. Renowned for captivating talks that have reached over 50,000 people nationwide in person, he has graced major media platforms and served as a financial expert on BBC Radio, Channel 4, Jeremy Vine, and ITV, putting him on in the homes of millions of viewers from across the UK. The founder of Aman Effect and a partner at Belvedere Wealth Management, he empowers individuals, families, and businesses towards financial independence. He is also the author of the Amazon bestseller, Get Your Money Right, which demystifies finance and promotes a healthy money mindset. As an ambassador for the NSPCC, Prince's Trust, and My Bank, Emmanuel is committed to imparting financial wisdom, breaking the chains of economic hardship through financial education, and becoming a financial advisor to the nation. Please welcome Emmanuel Asuquo.
Hello. Hey, everyone. How are we? We're here. What's wrong? Are you okay? People are shy. Don't worry, it's okay. We're in a safe space. I felt like it's such a big deal being here today. And I said at big deals, what do they do at big deals before you start your speech? They do the national anthem. No? Am I lying? Have I lied? So I said, listen, we couldn't get up, so I'm going to play it on my phone. But I said, listen, I'm Nigerian, I'm British as well, so I'll play the Nigerian national anthem, then we'll do the British national anthem, and then we'll get into it. Is that okay? Just to warm us up. Okay. Any Nigerians in the house? God bless you. God bless everybody, of course, but Nigerians, you get extra blessing. So let's start with the Nigerian national anthem. Are you ready? Nigerians, are you ready to sing? Are you ready? Okay.
It's legendary beats.
Are we ready? Nigerians, I want to hear you. Can you hear it? Is it loud enough? I'm not hearing singing now. Don't you feel proud? Come on. I'm holding the mic. Okay. All right, maybe it's a British crowd. We've got a British crowd here. All right, let me do the British national anthem, and then you guys can feel better. Are we ready? We're Brits, right? We're ready. Okay.
Go. If you're talking the hardest, gigs better pop up in your forces and I.
Come on! Clap for yourselves. Come on. All right, so I'm really looking forward to talking about this. So talking about the realities of social mobility. The intro was amazing. Thank you so much. I felt good. So good. You've done such an amazing job. Thank you so much. I guess Kika is my friend in real life, and we've been doing this thing for a long time. I remember when BYP first started, and I'm so proud of her and everything she's done, and she's one of my inspirations. So for me to be here to support her and support BYP is an honor. And I think for all of you guys today, it should be an aspiration that not only now you've been in the crowd to benefit, that one day when you get to your executive level, when you get to your business level, you come back and give back to BYP so that next generation can get it. And that's how we move forward. So for me to be here is a very proud achievement. I guess I could go on about all the stories and so forth, but the big thing for me is I feel like I'm the poster child for social mobility. Like, I grew up on a council estate in Tower Hamlets in East London. I went to school, I left school with 4 GCSEs. I'm Nigerian. You know that's a problem. Then I went to college because I had to go to college, even though I didn't want to go to college, and got a CDE. More problems. And then I went to university and got a 3rd class. My dad disowned me. I was in the bin. You know, luckily he has 2 other daughters, so he could claim them. But yet today, I'm a financial advisor to the nation. I'm on national television. When problems happen, when it's time to talk about interest rates or property or money, they call me. And that's social mobility. And I share that story to let you know that I don't want you to define yourself by what other people say. Because in your head, your mind might tell you, how could I be here today? But in my heart, I know the God that I serve. And I know that he says that any doors that he opens, I can go through. And so for me, and that was so important for me on my journey to know that I had a faith in something beyond myself. And having networks like BYP can give you that faith beyond yourself. Coming to rooms like this allow you to see things that now make you know that it's possible. Places that you thought you couldn't be, you now know that you belong. And so it's so important that you understand the power of this network, and also you don't just join because it's the right thing to do, you actually take the benefit out of it. Make sure you talk to people, make sure you network. That's how we get stronger. All right, so what is social mobility? Social mobility is about moving from where you are to somewhere better. So for example, you know, for our parents, it might have been getting on the property ladder. So they might not have owned property, but now their children are able to do that. Or they might have been able to do that later in life. Moving from being in poverty or being in hardship to being able to have a career, have a job, have a stable income, have assets, okay? And also then being able to pass those assets on. So that is really important, and that's what we want to talk about today, all right? So, why does it matter? Number one, there needs to be an opportunity for all. What we're talking about here is that I don't know how you feel. You might not feel like there's a chance for you, but I'm guessing by you buying this ticket, you understand that there is an opportunity. And so you're coming here to say, how do I take that part of an opportunity? I was speaking to someone earlier, and we're talking about the fact that a lot of the time we get into the workplace and we feel like we have to be the only black person in the room. Anyone know about, and you see another black person, you try to say hi, they're like, no, I can't say hi to you because you are gonna take my job. What are you doing here? I was meant to be the black person here. And so it's so important that we understand that there's an abundance. Do you understand that that the opportunity is so vast, there's so much opportunity that we don't need to see each other as competition. We don't need to see that the opportunity is gonna run out. There's so much opportunity that's out there, we just need to tap into it, all right? And that is the problem, okay? So understand that there's opportunity. Break the poverty cycle, all right? What happens is, I always tell people, you might not come from a millionaire, but a millionaire can come from you. Do you understand? Can I get some clicks? That was an amen. Yeah, act like you've been to church before. Okay, thank you. I need you to understand that because where you've come from, like I've come from a council estate. You see my kids, they don't understand council estate. They understand Marks and Spencer's. They don't know Lidl's. They don't, I said that the bread and the milk is the same. No, they not understand Marks and Spencer's and Waitrose. And they take their time with it, you know? And so it's one of those things where for them, their life is completely different to how I grew up. And so that is now, my job is now, how do I make sure that the assets we leave to them, they're able to manage and use and other generations get it? Because one of the biggest problems, and when we talk about poverty cycles, is that one generation builds wealth, and within 2 generations, the 3rd generation is back to zero. Because we are building wealth, but we're not having the education. You see, financial literacy is just as important as the wealth itself. Because if you don't know how to manage something, it's gonna go, all right? So it's about understanding how do we break these poverty cycles, all right? Time is ticking, so I'm gonna move on. Now, for me, the corporate world, does anybody work in corporate? You know what I'm about to say then. That place is not easy. It's not easy at all. All right? So I started off, one of the big things is education, okay? So I always tell people, like I said, I got 4 GCSEs, but what that doesn't say is I was really good at sport. I played basketball, rugby, and 100 meters, 200 meters, and the relay. That meant I wasn't in class that much. Nobody cared. Do you understand? When I was missing lessons, they didn't say, oh, you've missed English, let's make sure you catch up. They're like, no, you're doing great, you're representing the school. Then when your GCSEs come, unfortunately, do you understand? It's so important you understand that sometimes the education system, we see it, we are much more likely to be excluded. I don't know if you're seeing now that it's happening to black girls. Are much more likely, they're seen to be aggressive at school, and they're much more likely to be excluded than their peers. This is gonna have a knock-on effect when we talk about social mobility. So if we understand the challenges that we're facing, we also then can look at how do we solve them, all right? Then, The workplace, I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know. I'm glad I'm self-employed now. That's all I can tell you. Because you see that place, became a financial advisor in Barclays, youngest financial advisor in Barclays in the country, age 22. And I was clapped for me as well. But then it was a nightmare. It was, every day I was told that I need to act more like a 40-year-old middle-aged white man. I needed to change the way I spoke. Canary Wharf, the head office is in East London, where I was born. Yet they told me I spoke funny. I'm like, no, I speak like how everyone speaks that's born in Tower Hamlets. You lot are here from Chelsea and wherever, you lot sound funny. But it's one of those things that when you have to question yourself every day, when you have to look at how do I make my hand gestures, how do I talk, the food, even just bringing jollof from home, just trying to eat a common jollof and chicken at lunch. What's that aroma? Smells exotic. When you was eating cheese and pickle, did I bother you? So it's one of those things that we go through on a day-to-day basis, all right? And it's really important. Now, we also have things geographical, where you're born. Where you're born is different. Like I said, I'm born in Tower Hamlets. Once you leave that house, see, my house was like, you're in Nigeria. The second you left your house, you're in a war zone. Yeah? Even getting on the bus. I used to tell people, I still used to do this too. Not too long ago, then I realized I live in Bromley. I'm good now. But when we're on the bus, you'd have to look at the window to see who's getting on the bus. Because if the wrong person got on the bus, your phone's gone or you're in a fight. So you'd have to be careful and look who's getting on the bus. See, I was still doing that till 2020. And I said to myself, I'm in Bromley now. There's only green grass out here. I'm okay. But when you're having to fight these battles every single day, how can you get the best out of yourself? Do you understand? These are environments that to us are normal. But I always tell people, a lot of other people don't have to think about this. And so they're able to focus on their education. They're able to focus at work. Listen, black tax. Anyone know what I'm talking about? I tell you, Billy is not sending money home to Leeds. There's no money being transferred. But you, before you even got paid, they know you're paid, they know? They know the day you get paid, the day before your WhatsApp is blowing up. You're sending money, Western Union, you're everywhere. It's different. Then when now Billy buys a house, say, wow, we're on the same salary. How come you can afford to buy a house and I can't? Billy's getting 100% of Billy's money. You're only getting 40% of yours. So it's really important to understand that these are the factors that are affecting us when we're talking about social mobility, when we're talking about building generational wealth. All right, so what is generational wealth? And for me, it's really important that we understand that what we're talking about is, when we say wealth, we're talking about money that doesn't require you, an income, assets that don't require you. Do you understand? I tell people, do you want to work forever? And everyone says, I do not want to work forever. I could do it now. Put your hands up if you want to work forever. Everybody's hands are down. If you look at the way you manage your money, I promise you, the way you manage your money says you want to work forever. Because if you get paid and by the 16th of the month, the money's done and you're eating beans and toast and pot noodle, Indomie, until payday, and then you go again, you are going to have to work forever. Generational wealth is about putting money into assets that are going to work for you in the future, and those assets then being left for that next generation to build upon. Not to squander, not to go and enjoy and finish, but to build upon, okay? And so it's really important that you understand what are the things you need to be looking at. Real estate, starting a family business. I always tell people, your first business partner should be your family members. I see it with my friends in the Asian community. They buy property together. Even people say, oh no, the banks are racist. Listen, if there's 3 people with 3 incomes, unfortunately the bank, even if they don't want you, they're going to give you the mortgage. Computer will say yes. It will say yes. But you, with your 1 income, 40% is going back to Africa. Then by the time you've done all the bills, and then they say no. You say it's because I'm black. No, it's because you've got no money. I don't know. Maybe I've said something. I don't know. Maybe I've said something that you didn't know. But so, investing in stocks. Listen, the new iPhone just came out. Everyone was rushing to go and buy a new iPhone. You're in your overdraft and iPhone is your problem. We have to start challenging ourselves. Do you own iPhone shares? All these years, can you imagine how old you... I don't want to say people's age, but you know your age. Not the age that you tell people, the age you really are. You know your real age. If you think about, if you started buying Apple shares 10, 15 years ago, where would you be today? But let me tell you, our parents will say, listen, I speak to aunties and uncles all the time. You haven't got money for Apple shares, but how many gele, how many outfits for every wedding, different color? And now when you die, what are we going to do? We're going to go and sell your wrapper and your head tie and your Gucci belt to bury you. The room goes silent. Every time I say, if the room goes silent, you're really deep in. But this is what we are doing. And what are we celebrating? Oh, you've got a great new car. I don't want you to own a Mercedes. I want you to own Mercedes. Do you understand? There's a big difference. And then finally, look, prioritizing financial education is important, the education along the way, but also creating funds and trusts so that that money can be passed. Sometimes you know your kids. You know the way these kids are. You can't leave it to them. They can get access to the income, but not the asset. There are things that you can do to make that happen. All right, so integrity. It's so important that you hold yourself with integrity. I always tell people, when I became a financial advisor in Barclays, obviously I've got friends from the hood, and I never forget this one friend, not my friend anymore, but came to me and told me, at that time I was on 50K. I was making more than, my dad and my dad's friends. You know when you make more money than your parents, they start patting you on the back different. All of a sudden they want to give you the big piece of chicken. My boy. When I was getting 4 GCSEs, he wasn't talking to me like this. It's okay, we forgive. So, integrity. Now, they said, listen, we're doing this thing. All you got to do is do this, and boom, 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 we're going to get you 100 grand. Fraud. Imagine me that has killed myself to get into a position, and now you want me to risk my whole life, my whole job. Luckily, I wasn't involved. But sometimes when you come from certain environments, there's always going to be this opportunity. If I wanted to chase, I said to myself, listen, God has already blessed me, I'm blessed. I'm okay. Whatever God wants to give me, I will take. And sometimes you have to understand that we are so much, the money is not the goal. No matter what you think, money is not the goal. The goal is time, okay? Money is there to help you enjoy your time. But for a lot of you, you give up all your time for money. And you're working in reverse. Yeah? Does that make sense? So what I want you to do is, when I sit down with my clients, I'm talking to them about what are we doing with our time? What does good time look like to you? And how much money do we need so you can do that? That should be the focus. All this, I want to be on 6-figure. Why are you killing yourself? I had a client the other day on 80K, sad, because they told themselves I need to be on 100K. When we broke down what they need, 80K is enough for what they need. Do you understand? Sometimes you're already in a position of blessing, but because you're so focused on somebody else's blessing, you can't appreciate what you've got. So understand, what does it mean to you? That's why we call it personal finance, because it's personal to you. All right? Let's move on. Humility. And listen, for me, this is something that's vital. Humility involves recognizing one's limits and seeking growth without overestimating self-worth. You are all showing signs of humility by buying a ticket today. Do you understand? You are saying to yourself, I want to grow, but I understand that I'm limited. So I'm going to come to a space where I can learn and develop. Humility. Always understand that the best leaders are leaders that lead with humility. Do you understand? You see, some of us, we want to have a service business, but we don't want to serve. So that was another click, so feel free to, God bless you, God bless you. God bless you. No, but it's one of those things that I need you to understand. We have a service-based business, but we don't want to do the serving. We want the accolades. We want to be able to call ourselves CEO. I've got people, you bought your first property, you've changed your link on LinkedIn, property investor. Grandma died and gave you the deposit, now you're a property investor. Wow. But this is the thing, we're so on for the fame and for the accolades and for the likes. And what are we actually providing? Integrity, humility. These are the things that we need to really focus on. All right, balancing. Can you have it all? Yes, you can have it all, just not all at the same time. I need you to understand that. You can have it all. The life you deserve, the things you want in life, you can have them all. just not all at the same time. There are seasons for a reason. You're going to have a season as you go through life. So, but understand, do you have goals and plans that you set for yourself? What does good look like to you? To you, not to someone else. I don't want to hear what this person did or this person's done. What does good look like to you? All right? Because every day, social media is making you sad. Every day you go on social media and you see your friend from primary school that you were smarter than, that you used to take the mick out of, and now they're living a better life than you. You're sad. You're disappointed. But understand that it's your time. For your life, it's seasons. When you have your season, you want people to clap for you. So make sure you're clapping for others. Do you understand? Make sure you're clapping for others. So often we are sad when everybody else is winning. Then when you win now and nobody claps for you, you say, oh, you lot are haters. You've been a hater your whole life. You've been a hater your whole life. So it's really important to understand that balance between them. All right? Now, challenges. I know when you're young, imposter syndrome. I've experienced this one. I tell people, when I started my job, I used to watch a show on television. It was called Made in Chelsea. And I used to try and copy their accents. And I used to, the places that they said they go, when I go and meet clients in Barclays, I would tell my clients, yes, I was at that pub as well. Me. I said, I play golf. To today, I have not swung one golf in my life. Never even been on a golf course. But it's one of those things that you look at and you say to yourself, I can't be me. Understand your superpower is you. The reason I'm here today is because I'm a young man from a council estate that grew up in poverty, but learned financial education and decided to teach it from where I came from. No other financial advisor was able to do that because that wasn't their experience. When I did that, TV said, I've never seen a financial advisor that's funny, that cracks jokes, that's enigmatic, but that's me. That's where I come from. I come from ends. I come from a place where you just got to be on your toes at any given time, anything can happen. And now that's a skill. I always tell people, your gift in the wrong environment will feel like a curse. You see, when I was at school, I used to get kicked out of class all the time. And now the same things that I used to get kicked out of class for, they pay me thousands to do. Because your gift in the right environment is a blessing, but in the wrong environment is a curse. I need you to understand you are gifted. Make sure you put yourself in the right environment. Does that make sense? All right. Now, let me give you some examples. Paulette Simpson. She is the deputy CEO of Jamaica National Bank, first black British bank in the UK. All right? She's also the deputy CEO of The Voice newspaper as well. And she's also my mentor. Yeah? And guess what? She found me. Sometimes go and do the work. She found me doing what I was doing, and she messaged me on LinkedIn. She said, you're doing great stuff. Let's connect, and let's work together, and let's do stuff. Number one, go and do the work. Number two, when you are successful, look for who you can help. Success on your own is the worst thing in life. Success that you can share. She saw me, she said, I see what you're doing. Let me help. Let me open doors for you. Let me support you because I know you're doing the work, but I know how hard it is. And she is my mentor, and I love her so much. And she is a great example of somebody leading the way in finance. Dean Forbes. Yeah? I don't know if you've seen Dean Forbes online. Have you, anyone? This is a man doing amazing, amazing achievements. We're talking about coming again from a council estate. Played football, didn't work out. Sometimes that first thing you think you're going to be, it might not happen for you. Don't give up. Now he's doing billion euro deals. Yeah, heading companies, all right? Always been employed. So this whole you have to be an entrepreneur to be, not Dean Forbes. He's an employee and he's enjoying. And then obviously Rihanna. The reason I like Rihanna is that when you get to a position of influence, use it. But use it for good. She saw, listen, my problem, I can't get my shade. Okay, I'm gonna go and solve that problem. The second she done her thing, how many of these other brands that said we couldn't, all of a sudden, everybody can provide your shade now. Your shade exists now. This is, and because of that, she's now a multi-billionaire, okay? Because she said, this is my problem, I know this is other people's problem, I have the influence, let me go and solve it. Today, you're in a position where you might feel, I need to learn, I need to grow. But one day, my prayer for all of you is one day you're going to be in a position where you're influential. I want you to make sure you use that influence to make a difference. Because for her to become a billionaire, do you know how many people she's helped earn 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures on her journey because she decided to live to her purpose? You are going to live to your purpose. There are young people that are waiting for you to start your company, waiting for you to get that promotion so that you can uplift them. So understand that when you decide that you want to be shy or you're scared or you're too scared to network, understand that you are stopping not only hurting yourself, but hurting those that are coming behind you. All right, so what are some of the trends that are there to watch? Number one, the increasing diversity and inclusion initiatives. We thank God. Don't we thank God for diversity and inclusion? Me, I thank God, they're the only ones booking me. Feeding those kids. We thank God. Lord is good. But there's opportunity. People are looking to invest in us. What do you have to bring? What are you bringing to the table, okay? It's really important to understand that now there is time. Remote working, it allows you, if you do have a side hustle, now you can still do it. But make sure you do your first job properly first. Some of you are doing side hustle, your thing that is paying the light, you're wasting it. Some of us, we need to respect our jobs. You might hate your job, but your job is the reason you have a house and a roof over your head. Respect it. Put your effort in, do the energy, and then do stuff afterwards. All right? So for young professionals, opportunities to shape your career, the demand for leaders. So it's really, and your ethics is so important. How you are ethically. All right. Develop a personal code of ethic for yourself. I want you to tell yourself what is good to you. What is your standard? I know we only know standard when it's in relationship. Have standard for your career as well. What is your standard for how you represent yourself? The things that you are prepared to do, you're not prepared to do. Have that for yourself. Seek mentors and network. We're in one right now. You have mentors. BYP has created somewhere where you can meet mentors, people that are achieving. They highlight people regularly in our community doing well. So you can find mentors. You can see examples and role models. Like, prioritize financial literacy, please. Understand that money is a life skill. Don't just go out and make money work for you, okay? Look, key takeaways. Social mobility is possible. It is possible. We are all experiencing it. But what does it mean to you? Where do you want to go? We know that there are opportunities coming. It's really important. Generational wealth is something that we should put at the forefront. Prioritize building wealth, not just for you, but generations to come, more than you prioritize going to Dubai. Some of you are sharing room. 5 men in one room, 2 keys. Shame on you. So, stay grounded, be intentional, balance personal success, and focus on the greater good. All right? Success isn't just about what you accomplish for yourself. It's also about how you help others along the way. All right? I've got 2 books. Get Your Money Right, which is a book to teach you about basics about finance and money. And then I've got my new kids book, if you've got a young person, aged 9 to 14, The Ultimate Guide to Money, where we teach kids about money. We give the child £1 at the beginning of the book. We teach them steps. At the end of each chapter, they make a decision. If they make the right decision throughout the book, they'll turn that £1 into £1 million. We want to start getting kids to be entrepreneurial, understand what the value of money. And that's what we do in The Ultimate Guide to Money. Here are my details. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Wow. Well, how much of that resonated with all of you? So much of what Emmanuel was saying resonated with me, especially the bit where you arrive in a new company, a big company, and sometimes you're lost. Like, you don't know where to look. You don't know where to turn. I'll give you a little story. When I first started working at ITV, I wasn't in front of the camera. I was behind the camera. I was a runner. On my first day, I was doing the auto cue for a presenter. My hands were shaking because I was nervous. So I'm rolling the auto cue. I rolled it a little bit too fast. You wouldn't believe this. The presenter said, "Oh, for crying out loud, there's another fucking nincompoop on the auto cue." And I was like, oh my God. Now I'm vexed. I'm fresh off the road. I'm 23. So the news comes to the end. I was like, okay. When she comes out of the studio, watch, me and her now. So I get up, watch. I was literally going to cuss her out. So I walked over. By the grace of God, something just pulled me back and said, Alex, sit back down now. And I always thank whatever that power was from above that pulled me back to sit back down and just hold myself and not revert to type. I'm so grateful that I did, because I wouldn't be standing before you all today. I'd have been doing some other job, doing something else, and I wouldn't have been on the path. So sometimes it is about learning how to act in those environments, but we don't always know the way to do it. That was so good, Emmanuel. I learned so much. Sometimes, as I say, you don't know where to go. Now we all know where to go. Emmanuel will also offer his services for free just to get you up. Is that right? No, and there you have it. He's about his money. Learn from this man. If you're offering a service and it's a service we're paying for, pay for it, because you don't know what you're going to learn. Thank you so much. We're going to